fam, what's up, what's up, what's up? This is Robert Anton here, robertanton.com, coming to you with your no frills American Idol commentary from a singer. And tonight, we got a special treat. They called it Idol Duets. And let me tell you what happened. Oh my God! Tonight, the same 12 who performed last night are getting a chance to duet with an Idol alum. And at the end of the night, 5 from the group are going home. Scotty, McCreery, Fantasia, Nick Fradiani, Alaina, Caleb Johnson, Reuben, Studdard, Fantasia. Calm down, Robert, calm down. Okay, they kind of call these star duets. And we started right in on the duets with Emily Brooke and Alaina. They did Flat on the Floor by Carrie Underwood. And Lauren gave her a lot of good advice and started this song out on stage. They both looked great and sounded very similar vocally. Of course, Lauren was more comfortable and exuded energy, but she also gave Emily the floor to shine herself. Of course, she sung her under the table. I'm sorry, she just did. Harry said he learned a lot and could hear the difference in age between them. Keith said Emily held her own. J-Lo said Emily had the makings of growing into a Lauren Alaina. Thomas Stringfellow and Nick Fradiani did Man in the Mirror by Michael Jackson. And Nick told him to use his breakup to connect to certain songs and as motivation. So Nick had his own style on the beginning of this, but I didn't necessarily like it. Thomas came in with his own thing too, and I liked his phrasing, and the little hiccup worked on the MJ tune well. This came off just a little high in Thomas's range, and he was struggling to get it out while Nick made it seem just very easy. Not a lot of chemistry between the two of them. Keith said he struggled a little bit talking about Thomas. J-Lo said it didn't fit Thomas and it fit Nick better. Harry called him a talented young guy. Next we had Stephany Negrete, and she performed to Ruben Studdard. They did Superstar by Vandross, and Ruben reminded her that she's the one in the competition and told her to concentrate. And he started this out with a great shiny beard. It was so luminescent and stuff, and very reminiscent of Vandross. Stephany came in with a thinner sound that worked well in tandem with the thickness of his. It was a nice little difference. They had a great blend, though it seemed like she was a little uncertain what to do at times, like she wanted him to direct her or something. They had a nice sweet ending. J-Lo said it brought tears to her eyes because Ruben sounded like Luther and that their voices sounded super beautiful together. Harry thought it was strong even though there was some note issues. Keith said Ruben brought out the best in her. And if I bring out the best in you, please make sure to thumb up the commentary, and let me know that you are watching, you are here with me. This is Robert Anton. I appreciate you guys so much, and I appreciate your thumbs. I held them there the whole time. Sonika Vaid was up next with Caleb Johnson. They did Skyfall by Adele, and Caleb told her to believe every word she sang and that it's the emotion that counts. So she started this out seemingly directing her notes with her hands, and I love her sound. Caleb came in with so much feeling and emotion. It was like he was at a 9 though, and she was at like a 4. The voice of hers is there, but just no discernible emotion or point of view from her. Harry noticed that she's nervous and called her an incredible singer. Keith called it really great. J-Lo touched on her nerves and told her to loosen up. Jenna Renae was up next singing with Scotty McCreery. She did See You Tonight by Scotty McCreery. Scotty told her to stay in her lane of all things. And this song had a nice bounce to it, and them low notes starting out from him sounded really wonderful and nostalgic. Their harmony blend was pretty good, and Jenna owned it when she came in for her verse. She was very playful with him on stage, though I would have liked to see better movement interactions between the two of them. Jenna also went a little flat in places. Keith found it hard to critique, but told her that she had a lovely voice. J-Lo said she did the best she could. Harry said she looked like she was having a blast, and it was entertaining. Next up we had LaPorsha, Renae, and Fantasia. Ooh, they did Summertime, and they had me all choked up with her crying when they met. You know, when LaPorsha and Renae met Fantasia, she was crying, and they were talking like good old sisters. And oh, Fantasia looked so tall next to LaPorsha. So Fantasia started this out on stage alone, and LaPorsha came in on the second line of the song, and her hair was like in this big baby bun thing. These women were pulling out all the stops on this song, the emotional, the runs. LaPorsha really held her own with her moans and her runs, and I wrote all that grit Keith stood for them. J-Lo said it was mind-blowing. Harry said they both killed it. Keith called it an unstoppable force meets an immovable object. What did you think? You gotta tell me down in the comments. But oh Lord, oh my God. MacKenzie, Bourg, and Lauren Alaina did I Hope You Dance by Leanne Womack. And from the beginning, I felt like MacKenzie had found his own way with this song. His delivery was very sweet and simple. Lauren was straightforward country with it, but it worked well together. It looked to me like she was reading the lyrics or something at some point. Did you notice that? I thought she was like looking at a top prompter or something. I don't know what was going on. He was quiet and she was so forceful at points. This was okay for me. Harry thought it was a nice duet. Keith said he loves what MacKenzie does with songs. J-Lo felt it was mismatched but still somehow nice together. Next, Gianna Isabella performed with Nick Fradiani. They did Beautiful Life by Nick Fradiani, and Nick arranged his song to fit her in, which was very nice. He broke up the verses so they both sang sections of it and worked really well for me. I love how her vocals rolled so well over his with all her height and brightness. They actually worked the stage and the crowd, which was nice and different from everyone else so far. I could tell she was a little nervous about getting it right, but she shined unencumbered in a few places. Keith liked it. J-Lo said it was the perfect song. Harry told her the voice she has is an incredible gift, and her goofiness on this just really came out. I was just like, oh, she had me laughing and smiling. She was so sweet and funny. Avalon Young and Reuben Studdard performed together. They did Flying Without Wings by Reuben Studdard, and I loved her tone following his on this, and she was engaging him on stage all up in his eyes and stuff. This sounded good in her voice, but didn't showcase her as well, of course, as it did him. They sounded good together though. J-Lo said incredible, and it was equally matched. Harry called her incredibly likable. Keith called her so real and said it was an incredible performance. I guess it was incredible, incredible, incredible. James the Eighth and Caleb Johnson did Gimme Shelter by the Rolling Stones. And James started out wailing on the guitar and the vocals and came off with so much energy and charisma. Caleb excited the crowd and really rocked it out. This was like a blues artist coming together with a rocker, and they were just having a jam session. Very fun, very exciting. They were both very intense. I just wish James could have been more mobile. You know, he had his guitar and he was right there at the mic. I wish he could have been moving because Caleb was, you know, doing his thing, and they could have been like competing at it. It would have been nice. Harry thought James did a pretty good job hanging with Caleb. Keith liked the way he performed. J-Lo said they complimented each other. Next up, we had Genevieve Rose Mitchell and Scotty McCreery. They did Gone by Montgomery Gentry, and Scotty started this out with his smooth tones, and Genevieve was really moving and making this fun with her echo behind him. I was riveted on everything she was doing. I barely paid any attention to Scotty. I could hear his voice, but she was just drawing me in with her energy and her presence and her movements and her quirkiness and just everything she was doing. She had such great stage presence and rhythm, and she was clowning on this a little bit. It was a little theatrical, but very enjoyable and very entertaining. Keith called it bizarre, but thought the song did nothing for her. Harry called her unique and extraordinarily unusual. J-Lo called it out there, but called her a performer. And in the pimp spot tonight was Jordan Sasser singing with Fantasia. They did I Believe. Oh my God, bro. I can't help it, y'all. Fantasia is my favorite idol ever. I was emotional as soon as this song started, and it took me back to her win. Oh my goodness. Jordan came in with some good riffs and took her advice to really connect with the audience and the judges. He was really looking, finding people to perform to and to talk to. I felt like his mic was turned down or something because she was drowning him out during their harmony portion, and it didn't look like she was even trying. She was just like, ah, and he was like, so I don't know, that might have been a technical issue right there. He had a really good amount of energy, but she had me ready to cry again. And again. Oh, I love you, Fantasia. Okay, so results, here we go. They just announced everybody who was safe and through, and I guess this is no particular order. It was LaPorsha, then Sonika Vaid, Avalon Young, Gianna Isabella, Thomas Stringfellow, MacKenzie Bourg, and Genevieve Rose Mitchell. Yes, sirree. I was kind of like, I was wondering if it was going to be Genevieve or James, and I was like, they cannot leave Genevieve behind. I knew they wouldn't. So James the Eighth, Stephany Negrete, Jordan Sasser, Emily Brooke, and Jenna Renae all go home. Sorry to see you guys go, but you had a good run. What did you think of the results? Did your favorites go home, or did they stick around? Oh my God, who was your best duet of the night? Tell me down in the comments. Let's do it again next week with the other 12 contestants. This is Robert Anton. I'm out.